Cool, man. It's been a while. So, what was the last time we saw each other?
It was in person, so
It was
um,
last year, I think October, November. Is that?
yeah, where everything got crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I know. So, welcome to show, man. Welcome to App Talks by Mobile Action.
Thanks for having me.
For sure. So I know you pretty long time, and last year we had like we promised each other we're gonna go dinner, but it didn't happen, right? It was
No.
going to be like this January, like February and March, and since that time I've been seeing all trails everywhere in top charts, and you guys saved my life, honestly, because now I'm not living anymore the city. I moved to San Mateo last year, August. San Mateo is crazy place, so many trails and everything. But last couple of months, I found so many interesting places, so many like a hidden gem, thanks to the old trails. So let's just start who you are, Ryan Schneiderman, and what is Old Trails do and does, and just the people who doesn't know a little bit, and then we can take it from there.
Sure, yeah. I'm Ron Schneiderman, CEO of Alltrails, and Alltrails is a free app and website that helps you find trails so you can spend more time outside enjoying the outdoors.
That's it. So, and you've been in the company almost like 5 years, right?
Over 5 years, yeah. Just hit 5 years in
Wow.
October. Yeah.
And you literally done everything. You were like a COO, CMO, and CEO. What is left for you?
Yeah, when I joined the company, we took it over from the original founder,
Yeah.
and there was six of us. And so at that time, I was COO and CMO, which doesn't mean much in a six-person company. Which basically means like you do every. I was doing like all the marketing stuff, coding up the emails myself, doing all the copywriting, doing all of our ASO, coming up with our SEO strategy, and doing frontline customer support and everything in between. And so it's been really just rewarding and cool seeing how we've grown. We made a big point to grow organically. We did not want to go out and take external capital or anything, which meant we were really, really lean for a long time. Through 2016, the plane got awfully low to the tree line. And then 2017 we kind of rounded the corner from a product perspective and from a data perspective, and we actually became profitable by the end of 2017, and we've been profitable since then. And so, that kind of like that scrappiness, that sort of like everyone's in the trenches, rolling up their sleeves, doing it all together. That's like a core part of our DNA. Even though now, let's see, we started 2020 with 30 people, and we recently cracked 50 full-time employees,
Wow.
and we're marching right now. We've got like 25 more to go, and then as soon as possible, like in the next 3 months, if we
I
can.
just I just saw your LinkedIn post like before the show. You guys are hiring almost any department, right? So you like
Yeah, across the
data
board.
marketing across the board.
Yeah.
So it might be a good reminder for the people who are going to listen this. When you joined the company, because of the private equity, they took over the company from the original founders, and they like put it like $75 million to the company, or the founders took it. Like, what was the thing?
That
Yeah.
happened in 2018. So the original,
18. Okay.
yeah. So the original deal with the founder was to kind of grow it and see if we could kind of see if we could find
Yeah.
an exit. 2016 was just cleaning up, right? We're just in the muck. And 2017 too, like we were still grinding, just like getting the platform to where it needed to be, getting the data where it needed to be, getting like we couldn't even like really do. My background's in growth, and like there were
Mm-hmm.
so many leaks in the bucket, like we couldn't even like really think through growth. We had to like straight triage stuff, like one piece of the funnel at a time, rebuild our trail data from scratch. um,
Wow.
2018, again, by end of 2017, like, okay, this is working. We got the subscription model down. Renewals are looking pretty good. So 2018 is like, okay, I think I think this might be it. We got an inbound from one of the big tech companies, and that kind of accelerated our process. And so it was for me really fun. So I had a startup prior to Alltrails, and we raised, several rounds, and I had never had leverage like this. And what I mean by that is we were profitable. We were like a 12-person company, super profitable. And we were under kind of like a self-imposed timeline to sell it. Like, we didn't need to do anything. We could keep going, we could keep growing. I'm happy, we're having fun. And so as we were going through the process, we could be selective about what kind of partners we wanted to bring on board or not. We're talking to all sorts of different verticals and different types of partners too, right? Yep. Tech companies and mapping companies and online travel companies and retailers and all sorts of different strategics, and then also the financial firms too. And we kind of had I'd never had it before. It was an amazing feeling. We had the sort of the agency to pick who we wanted to keep going on the process with. And if there were people we didn't vibe with, or that, just couldn't really see, I always like doing the drive up to Tahoe test. Like, is this someone I'd want to like spend 4 hours driving up to Tahoe with, let alone like working with, closely with for several years. We could walk away. We could just kind of boot them out of the process. And what was rad was when you kind of find that kindred spirit in someone. And so there's this private equity shop in San Francisco called Spectrum Equity, and they're a growth equity shop. And so the whole, the conversation with them wasn't like, it wasn't about EBITDA, it wasn't about tightening up our OpEx or anything like that. It was just like, how big can we take this? Yep. Where do you think we can go? Like, if you really think big here, what do you think this can be? And then it's like, okay, let's go get it, and that was it. And so we were fortunate that we got to partner with them. And then since then, it's been amazing. It's just been
because they have a playbook and they might done something similar. And your background, you're an entrepreneur, so you done like also kind of similar outdoor like activities like Liftoff, right? So, yes. But that experience were totally different because you had like maybe limited funding and smaller team. Now your guys like adding 25 more and on top of 50, which is almost like 100 people, maybe even bigger. So that's a different leverage, money, team, and an audience perspective. I think how many users right now? You guys like 5 million, 6 million?
Oh, we have like 25 million registered users right now.
I look at it here 3 years ago. The interview, it was like 4 million. I thought maybe like I'm talking about the mobile. So, but you say 25 is all over, right? Mm-hmm. Web, mobile, everything. Wow. So you're like CEO of like 25 million user company. Crazy.
Yeah. And we're talking, I know. And what I love about Alltrails is that there's no sense of complacency here. Like, none of us are satisfied with where we're at. There's so much more work we need to do on the product side. Mm-hmm. There's so much more work we need to do on the data side. We want to get our community, 100 million seems like within striking distance. And then what does it look like beyond that? Like, how do we create like a truly global platform that's, built solely through this notion of like helping people spend more time outside? What does that look like?
That's the reason I was gonna actually get ready some of the questions for you. You touched a very good point, because now when I look at the Apple's similar app algorithm, they're comparing with you guys. None of your competitor anymore, like direct competitor. They're right now like comparing with you guys, the fitness companies. So yeah. Who's the biggest fitness company? Let's say, think about it like that has a membership perspective. I don't know, maybe 24 Fitness in US, maybe something like Econox. Econox is not gonna have that big, but like 10 million, 20 million maybe membership, right? Less, more, maybe, I don't know.
I know this is gonna sound corny, but we don't spend any time thinking about competition because there's so much work we need to do internally. Like, we're not trying to chase anyone or sort of fast follow anyone else that's out there, because like, we know we have a lot of self-awareness. We know what our gaps are. We know where we're coming up short. We know where we're missing the mark. And, and that's that kind of like inward facing mentality where, and again, it's like, it's not just in a vacuum, like we're just talking to users all the time. And like getting as many like quantitative and qualitative data points that we can, and like really having that dialogue with our community. That's served us well. And so then we're not one of the trickier parts in the Alltrails sort of lifeline since I've been here is kind of like flipping the script from being in a reactive footing to a proactive footing, right? And like it takes a lot of work. That was a massive lift, and I think we maybe finally got there this year in 2020. But you can't be in a proactive footing trying to like grow and scale your company if you're always looking in your rearview mirror, looking at someone else, right? Like, so yeah, that's been our guiding principle.
And you guys been market like as a company 10 years, right? And you've been like the company over 5 years. And last time when we were chatting, I was like telling you, dude, you guys have like amazing users, so you can sell merchandising, you can do like so many things. I don't know what's the like plan right now. And it looks like still like organic and everybody knows Alltrails, and you guys are very strong specific keywords. Those are high search volume keyword. Because in my business, I'm doing this thing for a living, right? It's just like growth, and a lot of people is like, and we're distributing this content like tens of thousands of the app marketer who are using MobileAction. So can you tell us a little bit about like what is like the now like I think thanks to the COVID-19 now you guys are getting huge demand. What is the places you guys want to fix, or what is the place you guys want to grow?
Yeah, I think one huge area of focus is continuing to build a global platform and a global community. And we've got a long ways to go. But in 2019, we translated the platform into French, German, and Spanish. And so we're really investing in those markets where people speak one of our 4 languages, or at least a big enough percentage of the population. We've been doing a lot on the ASO side lately to localize our store listings in areas where we haven't necessarily translated the platform itself, but where we feel confident enough the population speaks the 4 languages, and seeing what that's done to unlock growth. That's been really cool. That was in the last like 2-3 months, just do a quick sprint on that, see what we can do, and like.
But do you guys have a content from those geos? Because the city I am from in Turkey, I already look at in Alltrails in Ankara. There's nothing there. So I mean, there's no map. But I see like the community guided map, like the created maps. So when you're saying like the France or Germany, you guys already have a created maps, right?
We do. So sometimes it's chicken and an egg. If we're a marketplace, which we're not, but if we were a marketplace, our trail content would kind of be our supply, the inventory on the shelves. And so there's sort of no point for us trying to, push or pull people into the store if we don't have anything on the shelves. Now, granted, like in a lot of these countries, just to beat this analogy into the ground, the shelves aren't fully stocked, So, in like, sorry, my dog's going crazy out there.
That's okay. No
in France and Germany, for example, we only have, I think, like 7,000, 7,500 trails. And we know that's not enough, but it's not nothing either, right? So we feel kind of confident, like pouring some users through the top of the funnel and kind of seeing if we can get the flywheels going. Same with UK, same with Australia. Canada, we got there. Canada had a head start. And so this summer, we were the #1 health and fitness app in Canada for most of the summer. We actually got there in the United States this year.
Wow! Oh, nice!
Really cool. Like we hit it a few times. It wasn't like a consistent like multi-weeks at #1 because there are some big, well-backed platforms out there.
I know, and they're like so. And being #1 is actually easy. Like easy mean like if you have a like paid acquisition channel and if you just want to run it anyway, still technically you're like kind of manipulate the app store algorithm with number of the downloads. But for you guys, still technically like localization, app store optimization, organic growth, you get web presence is like still I think big. If you search the keywords specific like trail, let's say when I check like a Bay Area top trails, you guys end up like top results. So that's huge. But I'm interested in like more data perspective, because you guys know the people when is the best time they go to hiking, and now is every day is the best day to go hiking anyway, right? So tomorrow is actually they're shutting down, right? So you cannot go. I don't know. Do you like? It's like what, like do you guys personalize it out? I mean, because I don't feel any personalized trail recommendation from you guys yet. Maybe I'm not the target user, but is there anything like going on for you?
You're
And
definitely the target user, and all of the
okay.
listeners are target user. Yeah. So on the like COVID front, this year's been
Mhm.
crazy. I mean, that's like the understatement of ever. But as far as all trails goes,
Yeah.
it's been just nuts trying to stay on top of all of the park and trail closures and trying to do it in real time, because there aren't necessarily like centralized data sources that broadcast this out. So we have a dedicated data team that is, unfortunately like stuck in reactive mode quite a bit, having to hit up federal sites and state level sites and community sites, regional sites, and trying to, figure out what exactly is open, what exactly is closed, and update our trail content in real time. That's a Herculean effort. And then you couple that with all the like devastating wildfires this year too. It's been gnarly. It's been they are heroes. They have earned it in my book, with just all the work that they've done to keep our trail content as up to date as possible. That's a manual effort. It's just a straight up human API project right there. You
Yeah.
just like brute force it, throw bodies at it, and just be grateful that they're doing it. So we're trying to stay on top of it. It's hard to like get in front of it. Again, oftentimes we're reacting. But we did start doing more to surface proactively things like trails less traveled, and obviously like do a lot more to educate our users on how to explore safely during COVID, so like wear a mask, try and do loop trails instead of out and backs. The deeper in the backcountry you go, the less crowded it's going to be. Here are some times that work, like that kind of stuff. Just to make sure that like we keep it safe and accessible for everybody. Cause yeah, like you said, like there's nothing else to do this year. There's nothing else to do in a pandemic. Yep. Everything is shut down. Everything that we need for physical health and emotional health and mental health has kind of been taken away from us. And the one bright spot is that we have this like amazing, basically free resource all around us. And that's nature, right? And so if we can help people get out there and just kind of like cope and deal with all this bullshit all around us,
I know.
it's not bad, like it feels like we're kind of doing our part here to help out.
So you guys like have the biking and then running too on the app, right? But hiking is a huge one.
Hiking's the most accessible, and so let's talk data. So one of the really interesting things that we've seen on our platform, there's been a few things. One is for existing people, for people who already were like pre-inclined to spend time outside, just seeing the increased utilization. So people are trading in their midweek commutes for hikes, which is great. That's a beautiful thing. I hope that continues, right? So like we're seeing like the Wednesday morning hikes, the Thursday night hikes, that kind of stuff. When again, like most of us would be sitting in BART or, in traffic or whatever. So that's been rad. And at the same time, we're also seeing so many new entrants, people who have never put on hiking boots before, who have never stepped foot on a trail. What we're trying to do, like you read about like why you should spend time outside and how it's good for you physically and good for you mentally and emotionally. There's so many stories being written about it. And what we try and do is like break down the how. Like, so you read it, it's like, well, now what do I do? Well, here's how you actually find the trails. And
you need a pandemic to push those those people to go outside and go for hiking.
It's been crazy. I know, dude. But the hope is like, this is one of those like sustainable long-term, like we talk about it as being both kind of a reconnection with the outdoors for a lot of people. Again, a lot of people maybe haven't spent time outside since they were kids. And also kind of this global reawakening to just the power of spending time outside. It's you can run on your treadmill for an hour or half an hour, and you'll feel tired and you'll have burned off energy. But you spend that same time running outside, you just feel different. it's not the same. You feel different. You feel better. It's a more holistic
Oh,
wellness.
I mean, that's like you guys even position yourself more than like a hiking app. It's like a mental health, physical health. I'll tell you a story. 2 days ago, I went to Crystal Spring in San Mateo. I just went for like a beautiful place. I've been there many times, but I mean, especially like there's nothing to do. You can't go gym. My gym is opening up and closing up, and my wife is telling me, "Don't go gym." I say, "It's okay. Like it's like eating an outside restaurant." She said, then we shouldn't eat also outside. Everyone has a different way of watching and then observing the news. But if I go hiking, I think she's fine and I'm fine. It's an interesting story. I sit down and hiking. I didn't even like walk too much. I just sit down and watch the birds. And I watch one bird like more than 10 minutes. Then I just get inspired and write a small poem. And then I never done it in my life. I'm gonna share with you that one. And it
That's
got like
so cool.
yeah, in English. So normally I do like to writing in some poems like in Turkish, but English is not my first language, as you can know. And I just wrote it. Even the hiking made me to think and write English poem. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it, man.
Thank you, you guys. But and also your app is free technically, right? So you
Yeah.
can find the places, you can go there. There is no need to pay unless you need a offline map, I think, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of like product
Extra.
features that you get, but all of the content, the trail content, driving directions to the trailhead, difficulty, all of that, that's free for everybody.
Wow. So it's probably gonna stay like that. And that's another thing. I use old trails, but not all the time. I record unless I can just like don't wanna get lost and just starting like seeing where am I in the map. It's very interesting. I wanna like ask you like one more the question. What are you thinking about like your community is engaging in your platform most? Is this like the comments or the picture they share or like what that's some things I a little bit missing. I know you guys are hiring. You guys probably a lot of plan to be that doing like because you work in Yelp before, so you know that is like that may be the experience. I feel like is relevant. So yeah, what do you think that they engage and what do you want to like build something and they should be more engaging platform?
Yeah, so this is definitely, we were talking about kind of focuses moving forward, and this notion of elevating community is a huge internal focus of ours right now. And we're really excited about some features that are going to be coming online probably Q1 of
Mm-hmm.
2021. But yeah, I mean, hiking is social, and mountain biking and running is so. Even if you do it by yourself, you still talk about it with your friends. You trade ideas with your friends. You just like you want to like spread the stoke about it. Like it's just fun. It's a fun, positive thing to talk about. And we know that we're right now the notion of community within our platform is really around trail reviews and photos, which is great. It's a beautiful thing, right? Like people are paying it forward to other people and putting in place, tips and recommendations and sort of like what to expect out there. And that's rad. And there's even like a community curation and cultivation of our content. So if like a trail is closed or something like that, like they'll let us know and we can make those changes in real time. So that's awesome, but there's so much more that we can do to really elevate that. And so, yeah, we've that's going to be a big area of focus moving forward.
Yeah, the reason is I want to talk with you because I only want to talk to apps I love to use it, and like a previous show we had the Phil's app I use every day, and then Truebill they just raised like another $17 million. I like that finance app, and like touching my life day to day, and I love All Trails, and I want to show the people like who's behind of this all trails and then like team, and if like they're interested, they should definitely check it out. The LinkedIn post, I'm gonna put it on the description of the video. And also, like, thank you. I want to say personal thank you too, and for like making this app is very accessible and it's amazing. I was like telling my friend they've been in the Bay Area, like born and raised. I said, oh, you know what? I found this park. They've been like the place like forever and they never heard it because after you are like going like some places a little bit over, you just want to look at it in other places. I even drive like 30, 40 miles to just want to see one waterfall, because I can do like the selection and the filter, or I can just say, okay, now we're expecting baby. This is probably going to be like the first time we're sharing public.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Congratulations! That's
thank you so
awesome.
much. Thank you. So you have a baby, right? You have a
I
daughter?
got 3 babies. They're not
Oh,
babies
wow.
anymore either. Yeah.
We're like in Corona. What do you gotta do? Either you go hiking or you're just gonna make babies. That's what that's what we did actually. So I'm looking for, okay, like kids friendly, or like
We have the
stroller
stroller
friendly.
friendly tag. You'll be
Yeah,
using that a lot.
yeah.
Yep. It's
That's
great.
that's interesting. Is there anything you want to add, or like some
Babies love
thought?
nature, man. It's amazing. Like we'll take our 3
Yeah,
kiddos out there. And this was
yeah.
even during the height of the lockdown when you could, hiking was deemed an essential activity. So we would just take our kids out on the weekend, and
Hmm.
suddenly like the fighting would stop. Everyone's kind of like present, enjoying each other's company. You just slow down. You're looking at tracks in the dirt, or, a bird up in a tree, whatever it is. And you just feel that like tranquility, that joy. And that's that reawakening, that reconnection, I think, that's happening. And so thanks for spreading the word about it. That's, I think, like one of those big silver linings that I really hope has like long lasting legs out of COVID is like, nature's a good thing. Like we don't need to be scared about it. The more we can get out there, the more we can start prioritizing it, protecting it, and ensuring that it's there for our kiddos. I think about that all the time with my kids. Like I grew up in the Bay, and I want my kids to enjoy the same open spaces and trails that I grew up with, and that doesn't just happen. You got to kind of fight for it. So, anyways,
That's
thank you
true.
for spreading the word about it, man. And
Yeah, thanks for joining us. And as I said, like, I mean, you literally, you guys, like, in Japan, it's a term. It's called forest bathing. You go
yeah,
to forest and you just like, I mean, that's technically what I did in the last couple of months. It definitely changed my way to understand what's going around me. I've been start writing and doing like very quality work. And I mean, our business got bigger and bigger because everyone is in their phone. They need like to just especially app developers, they spend more time in growing. But yeah, All Trails is like big time. And I felt like this app should be default app every single person's phone, maybe iPhone or Apple, whatever. They're just like launching new phone, they should put it out. I know you guys are good relationship with them. And but yeah, let's keep in touch. Maybe we'll do another one. Something is like in Q1, late Q1, maybe like Q2, like what is the new features, and we can share the people.
sounds great. And maybe,
All right.
yeah, let's catch up. Let's do a social distance hike and catch up in real life.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that would be
Fun.
cool, man. All right, guys. So we had the Ron Schneiderman from All Trails, and that was amazing to hear and listen to him. I think I can do like another 30 minutes, but like just want to like do another episode. Thank you again, Ron, and joining for us today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.